Well, we heard today from the steam packet. They came out firing their guns of what they want to see for the Isle of Man and their position as they see it. Of course, as I mentioned, it was the same day as the Ellan Vannin Line are having their talking to the public and people up here at Nobles Park. And this is your baby. I mean, you've come here today to tell everyone what your plans are. Can you outline them for us in general, what you expect to do here on the Isle of Man?
Yeah, we have enormous public interest in this project that we have, having an additional shipping line or competition. For that reason, we decided halfway through the process, we wanted to have a public meeting to tell the public what we are doing, what have we done, what is the situation with the shipping situation in Douglas, what is the situation with the user agreement, to explain a little bit what the details are. Some people may have a lot of knowledge about this, but the general public has just a huge interest. And this is where we will give them some background information, what the realities are.
I mean, you want to compete head-on with the steam packet, or are you just going to start cherry-picking?
No, neither. What we would appreciate is, because we think there's space for two companies, it will give the steam packet an advantage in a way which will be also an advantage to the people on the Isle of Man. First thing is, we will have a backup to the one ship lifeline of supply that we have. If the Ben McCree is not sailing, the supply stops. With our ship, there will be a backup. We could help each other as well with if one of us has a problem, the other one could take the cargo, for example. So that's definitely an advantage, because we saw that last winter when the steam packet was out of service for 5 days. We all had empty shelves on the Isle of Man.
Sure, but I mean, Mesron tried this. I mean, Manx Line tried it. It's all failed.
It's a different approach. If I look back to 2010, that was an attempt from Mesron with container ships. So they had to re-educate the transport company from trailers into containers to a different port. It's a big change in logistics. We don't do this. We go to Heysham as well. We just offer a different service, different service.
So the money's in the freight, isn't it? Isn't that what you're going to go for first of all? And then come TT, surprise, you want to then bring in passengers, but only presumably in those sort of times of the year when there's lots of them around.
No, we start with the freight because the freight is there during the whole year. So it's for 12 months a year. Even when TT comes, we have agreed with the people who want to work with us that even when TT is there, we'll take their cargo. They give us the revenue for 11 months in a year, and they will give us also the revenue in the 12 months. So we will not leave their cargo behind. If that's a policy of the steam packet, grab let's say the possibility to get bikes on board and leave the normal customer behind, and we won't do this.
Okay. I know you haven't seen the media that they've done today in any form, because they've done a lot of media, but I mean, their point was again that they run those ships in the middle of winter when there's hardly any freight, hardly anybody on board. This is because they've got this user agreement that the good times and the bad times they've got to service that route.
Yeah, that's true, but we will do exactly the same.
But you won't have any subsidies to do that with then, will you? Or are you going to government for some money?
No. There's no subsidy. Steam packet doesn't get any subsidy. No. We won't ask for subsidy. We know that grants have been given to companies like the Sefton Group and to Pinewood Film Studios. Grants or money has been given to them. I think the support here on the Isle of Man from the government to a company that will create about 30 jobs is zero. We will not get any money.
And do you see this happening, getting your whole thing off the ground? You're having a meeting tonight, but
yeah.
This will definitely be a goer before the end of the year, is that right?
Yeah, we're planning to start in October, and everything is as per plan at the moment, so this is when we will start. I mean,
I'm trying to think what they were saying in the interview, not everything I remember, but they were intrigued that you're looking at side loading, was it, in Douglas? Because you obviously can't get onto the actual unit that the government's tied up with the steam packet. And is that really going to work, getting freight on and off on a side loader?
No, I wouldn't say that the government is tied up with the steam packet. I think the government gave the user agreement to a company at the time, 1995, and that was a benefit to the market at the time because it regulated the service that was available. Now, if you want to have an alternative service, you have to see how can you provide such a service without violating the user agreement. We can't use the link span. That's the only condition here. But if you don't have to use the link span with a side ramp on a ro-ro vessel, you can just drive off on the quay.
On the side, though, I'm just trying to put this into my head that used to happen years ago, and it's not very effective, especially with the tides we've got in the Isle of Man. Surely that's going to be more tricky, isn't it, than just being able to get onto the unit that is there, which you can't get onto.
In Heysham, you load in the same way through the stern ramp.
Yeah, you can do that there, but in the Isle of Man,
not a problem. When you come here, we just open the side door down to the quay when the tide is right, but we stay here about 11 hours in the port, and during this 11 hours, we have enough time where we have the ramp at the right angle, so it's not too steep up, too steep down, and that's the time we will use. So we have about a window of 4 hours for loading and discharging. We need 2.
Okay, and you're not going to go after trying to get onto that unit. I mean, you're not going to think that would be the obvious thing, that if you can break the user agreement somehow and get access to use the loading system that's currently in Douglas Bay.
No, we have no interest in breaking the user agreement. We have no interest in breaking the steam packet or bringing them into trouble. We had discussions with the steam packet, and we said what our intention is and what we would prefer to have. Basically, what I said, there would be an option, an advantage for both companies. If the steam packet takes it or not is up to the steam packet.
They've also said they need money for reinvestment, and now they did mention government money would be required for that sort of millions and millions of pounds to get future investment into ships. You are going to do this by leasing a vessel? I mean, you've obviously targeted one already. You know what you're going to use, do you? And that's not going to be subsidised by the government anyway.
No. It's our intention is to purchase the vessel, not leasing. So we have it here. That's a commitment that a lot of people wanted to see.
That's a big commitment. How many millions of pounds will that be?
I can't tell you, but
running into millions.
It is not as much as you think, because ships' prices are very low at the moment. Shipping is in crisis, so a lot of ships are sold from people who cannot run them in an efficient way, and the ship that we are targeting fits perfectly into the service here.